Story 1 of 5. Gout Gout sets new under 2200-meter world record at Australian Athletics Championships. Gout Gout sets new under 2200-meter world record at Australian Athletics Championships. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Gout Gout ran 19.67 seconds in the men's 200-meter at the 2026 Australian Athletics Championships in Sydney, setting a new under-20 world record and breaking his own Australian record of 20.02s. Gout's time was faster than Usain Bolt's 19.93s at age 18 in 2004, which was a world record at the time. The race took place on April 12, 2026, at Sydney Olympic Park Athletics Centre. Gout's time was achieved with a legal tailwind of plus 1.7 meters per second. Aidan Murphy finished second with a time of 19.88 seconds, becoming the second Australian to run under 20 seconds in the same race. But not all outlets told the same story. SMH states Peter Norman's record was 20.04s, while The Age and ABC say it was 20.06s. The Guardian, April 12, initially reports Gout's time as 19.68s before it was revised to 19.67s, while other sources only mention the final 19.67s. Article 6, Guardian, claims Gout's race drew 3,000 spectators, but no other source confirms this exact number. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, SBS News, Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Story 2 of 5. Coalition proposes blocking non-citizens from first-homebuyer scheme, sparking debate. Coalition proposes blocking non-citizens from first-homebuyer scheme, sparking debate. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Angus Taylor announced the coalition would close the 5% deposit scheme to non-citizens, reserving it for Australian citizens only. The 5% deposit scheme has issued about 50,000 guarantees to permanent residents since 2023, representing 16% of total guarantees. The scheme was expanded in October 2025 by the Labor government to include unlimited places, higher property price caps, and no income caps. Angus Taylor stated he was appalled that non-citizens accessed the taxpayer-funded scheme, calling it completely unacceptable. Multicultural groups, including the Federation of Ethnic Communities Councils of Australia, FECA, argue home ownership is crucial for migrant integration and economic contribution. But not all outlets told the same story. The ABC states the 5% deposit scheme has issued about 50,000 guarantees to permanent residents, while The Guardian reports Housing Australia's March 2026 data showing more than 48,000 permanent residents used the scheme, a slight discrepancy in phrasing but consistent in number. The ABC reports that 12 defaults occurred since 2020 under the scheme, while The Guardian does not mention default rates, focusing instead on policy origins and social media influence. The Guardian implies the coalition's policy shift was influenced by right-wing social media and Pauline Hanson's advocacy, while the ABC frames it primarily as a political stance by Angus Taylor without emphasizing social media's role as a catalyst. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 3 of 5. Pope Leo XIV condemns war spending and clashes with Trump over Iran conflict. Pope Leo XIV condemns war spending and clashes with Trump over Iran conflict. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Pope Leo XIV condemned tyrants spending billions on war and called for a decisive change of course during a visit to Cameroon on the 16th of April, 2026. US President Donald Trump attacked Pope Leo XIV on social media, calling him weak on crime and saying Leo should get his act together as Pope. Pope Leo XIV warned against using religion to justify wars and said blessed are the peacemakers during his visit to Cameroon. Vice President J.D. Vance questioned Pope Leo XIV's theological stance on war, asking how can you say that God is never on the side of those who wield the sword, on the 14th of April, 2026. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni criticized Trump's words toward the Pope, calling them unacceptable. But not all outlets told the same story. The ABC states Trump said Leo should get his act together as Pope, while The Guardian does not explicitly quote this exact phrase but reports broader criticism. The ABC reports Trump's comment about a whole civilization would die tonight sparked the issue with the Pope, while The Guardian does not mention this specific quote as the trigger. The Guardian reports that the US military killed 3 people in a strike on the 16th of April, 2026, while the ABC does not provide a specific date for the latest strike but mentions a total toll of 177. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 4 of 5. A 50-year friendship between Russell James and Russell Thompson highlighted by a book revelation. A 50-year friendship between Russell James and Russell Thompson highlighted by a book revelation. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Russell James, 83, is a retired teacher who taught Russell Thompson, 63, at Hyatt High School in 1977. Russell James taught Russell Thompson consumer education in Year 9 and accounting in Years 11 and 12. Russell Thompson is a professor in transport engineering at the University of Melbourne. Russell James wrote 7 books, including a biography of golfer David Graham and A Street and Time Too Far Away 2014, about growing up in Kinnan, Melbourne, in the 1950s. Russell James meticulously recorded every tennis game he and Russell Thompson played since 1978 in an exercise book. This story was covered by Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Story 5 of 5. UK PM Starmer appoints Epstein-linked Mandelson as US ambassador despite failed security vetting. UK PM Starmer appoints Epstein-linked Mandelson as US ambassador despite failed security vetting. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Peter Mandelson was appointed UK ambassador to the US in February 2025 by Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Mandelson failed UK Cabinet Office security vetting, UKSV, in late January 2025, with a formal denial decision on the 28th of January, 2025. The Foreign Office overruled the UKSV denial and confirmed Mandelson's clearance by the 30th of January, 2025, allowing his appointment. Mandelson was sacked as ambassador on the 11th of September, 2025 after Epstein file revelations surfaced. Keir Starmer stated in February 2025 that Mandelson had received clearance for the role from security services, later contradicted by reports. But not all outlets told the same story. The ABC states Starmer was warned in advance about the reputational risk of Mandelson's Epstein links, but The Guardian does not mention this warning in its article. The ABC implies the UK government's initial 147-page document release did not disclose Mandelson's failed vetting, while The Guardian states the release was supposed to shed light on the case but did not explicitly confirm or deny the override. The ABC cites Nigel Farage directly accusing Starmer of blatantly lying about Mandelson's clearance, while The Guardian does not quote Farage but focuses on parliamentary scrutiny of Starmer's statements. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian.